Hey everybody, it's the Coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the GOAT, Tom Brady, and the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots as they square off against second-year man Sam Darnold and the new-look New York Jets. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the river in Manhattan. They're set to go as their Jets will match up with Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, they've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Patriots come out led by the 4-time Super Bowl MVP and owner of a record 6 Super Bowl rings, arguably the greatest to ever play the game, Tom Brady. And we keep asking the same questions every year. How much longer can he keep doing this? Is this the year the dynasty crumbles? And every year, Brady comes out and leads his team to the Super Bowl. They've been there now 3 years in a row, and only one team has made it 4. That's the Buffalo Bills. But remember, they lost all 4 in the early 90s. They'll run with a former Super Bowl hero. It's James White. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. Shotgun now for Brady. And that's complete. It's Watson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward. First down, here's White. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. And now we take a peek at the Patriot offense.
It's hard to know who exactly to feature when you do a Patriots game, but in this case, we're going with James White, the running back out of Wisconsin. Highest receiving and rushing totals in 2018, just under 1,200 yards. Remember a few seasons ago against Atlanta in the Super Bowl? He had an MVP-esque performance.
On second down, they'll run with White, and he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy. Wait,
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. The Patriots send out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. So here are the Jets now backed up to start their first drive. Commanding the offense will be the highly touted USC product, Sam Darnold.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now the throw pulled in by Anderson. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Now a first down carry by Bell. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The offensive starters now for the Jets.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Bell. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Bell, of course, 3-time 1,000-yard rusher. Sat out 2018, but you look back to 2017, a tick under 1,300 yards and almost 700 more receiving. And he's got a noon one.
Let's go, let's go.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Darnold off the play fake to Bell. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Defensively, here are the starters for New England. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in, and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And this ball's going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? Back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
So Brady and the Pats take over 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. Here's Brady to throw. Complete to Watson, the tight end. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
On 2nd down now. It's White, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. On 3rd down, a run from White.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
On 1st down, Brady. It's complete. James White. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On second down, it's White.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. The Patriots send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a big gain that time. He's out of bounds on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
On first down, it's Bell. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Week 7 of the NFL wrapping up tonight. Not too early to look ahead to Week 8. Already the halfway point of the season. My goodness. But we started out with a good one. In the NFC, Washington taking on Minnesota from US Bank Stadium. Kickoff scheduled for 8:20 Eastern, 7:20 local there in the Twin Cities. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On second down now. It's White, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Caught by the tight end Watson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16. Second tour of duty for Watson with the Patriots. Remember, New England drafted him way back in 2004 out of Northwestern. He retired in the offseason after finishing the campaign with New Orleans, but decided to come back for one more go-around with the Patriots, and they might need him, especially with Rob Gronkowski no longer in uniform. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. And
that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. They'll run on first down. Bell. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Hardman's got it complete. And he'll go down at the 28.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Bell running on first down, but he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The veteran Jamie Collins there on the tackle. Throwing on second down. Darnold, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line.
Under the category of obvious, you hate giving up a first down on 3rd and long. And somehow, he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
And if you look at the coverage defensively, oh, this is great, but no one accounted for him at the quarterback spot.
At some point, you actually have to tackle it and get him on the ground short of the first down marker. You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually, but first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Darnold. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. They go play action for White. Now it's Brady. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out. Because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Brady's throw there complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This is White on the screen.
When you run a screen pass really well, you gotta like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
The throw here going to be complete to Gordon, and he'll get it down this time to the 17. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Brady rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's first down. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Looking back to the air on second down. It's Brady. Looking for Edelman, and he hits him. It's complete. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Now Brady. And that is incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky, but that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up, this should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
On 2nd and 9, Darnold. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Darnold now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Darnold from the gun. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Quincy Enunwa, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Got an open man, it's Enunwa. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now a draw play. This is Bell. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. And the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to and got his man complete. 39 yards there, a big one.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Off of play action, Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Michael Bannon, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. 3rd and long, it's Darnold. Buying time to his left. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they lost yardage, and they declined the penalty. There's no logical reasoning to do that.
I'm trying to go through this little Rolodex in this small brain of mine, and I'm coming up with nothing, partner. I got zip on that one. Take the yardage, right? Take the penalty. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So the delay of game penalty backs him up. It's now 2nd and 7. Brady deferring to White on the draw. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Henry Anderson, big man from Stanford, there for the stop. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th.
I'm guessing, partner, that if we're in the huddle with the Patriots right now, there's not a single guy that thinks they have any chance of coming back in this one, especially not with Tom Brady.
Yeah, who's Tom Brady? What's he done in the past as far as comebacks are concerned? They're down right now, but that can evaporate quickly with him in the huddle. The New York set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now a pass taken in by the tight end Herndon and brought down, but not before reaching the 25. 11 yards there, first down. Darnold now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. The give is to Bell. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Faking the give, Darnold. They'll roll him out right. That's complete. It's Bell. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. Throwing on first down is Brady. He's got a man complete. It's Julian Edelman. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Well, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Brady. They don't have his man. That's Edelman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college...
Now White lost the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. There he goes left side, and he is in. Touchdown, New York. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point forthcoming. And that will make this a 16-point lead. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Looking for a bounce back, had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
On second down, it's White. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Brady, and that's complete. It's Watson. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Wait, that 53!
On first and 10, here's Brady. It's caught. This is White. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49. A gain of just 2. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Brady. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Well, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. To the left side and complete for Julian Edelman. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there limiting that and keeping him from the first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stopped him a yard shy. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, They can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 12 yards there and a first down. On first down, it's Bell. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Here's a throw out wide to Anderson. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On second down, it's Bell. And he stopped immediately there. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The Jets on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free, no first down.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will stretch the lead to 3 scores now at 19-0. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Brady to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Bell. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been a bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
They'll run on first down. Bell. Dante Hightower on the stop.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The carry here for the big tight end. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Patriots. He's at the 40, past the 20, 10, and he is in. Touchdown, New England. Now Mike Nugent for the extra point. And they're able to cut the deficit to 12. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Jets have got it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll go again with Bell. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
On third down, here's Bell. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12. That's complete to White. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Brady's saying let's go as he'll hustle him to the line. To throw again on second down. Brady to the right side, and he's got Edelman. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Now Brady again. And he'll find his favorite receiver. That's Edelman. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. They go play action for White. Now it's Brady. Brady to his old reliable Edelman. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Marcus May with a pick. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And they take a knee. And that kneeled down a little extra sweet. You get the win, and you knock out somebody's perfect season.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because it's not a championship game yet, but the team that's undefeated feels like a champion. So you've won a little bit extra in this one. Yeah, they've got to feel great about taking a knee here.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut